In this video, I'm going to talk to you about the Buoy 16 Motel and some of the restaurants in Seaside. Make sure to stay till the end of the video where I rate the motel as well as rank the food items that we ate. For me and my girlfriend's first anniversary, we decided to spend 2 nights in Seaside Heights, and it was a really fun time. When I got to the hotel, I was checked in by this nice gentleman named Adam, who was at the front desk. He was pretty accommodating, and he allowed me to park 2 cars in their parking lot since it was off-season. Normally, it's only 1 parking space per room. And I should say that the parking lot is pretty tight, so I imagine when it comes time for full peak season, it's probably a little hectic getting in and out of here. So to get into the hotel, you actually have to scan a key card that unlocks the front door. Most hotels that I stay at have a swipe or some kind of tap with a card, but this one actually had you punch in your room's code. Upon arrival, I thought the room was pretty nice. It was relatively modern and clean, and although I could have gotten some hotels for much cheaper, I did feel like this looked a little nicer than those. Those looked like their comforters were from the 70s or the 80s. They just all looked sort of outdated. The room had very basic amenities. There was a mini fridge and a microwave, but there was no coffee maker. And speaking of amenities, there were 2 chairs and a folding table. I don't think that there was an ice machine on the premises, so if you need ice, you might have to run a block over to the 7-Eleven. There were some USB outlets on the nightstand so you could charge your phone, and that was a nice touch. But overall, the room was pretty plain and bare. The view from our window was great. You could see people coming on and off of the boardwalk, and we were just right in the action. I think the best part of this whole motel is the fact that we were less than a block away from the boardwalk. Almost, it's basically like an oceanfront hotel, honestly. Like, it's that close. The bathroom was stocked with 6 towels, which I felt was perfect. It's just the perfect amount for a 2-night stay, and it was nice that we didn't have to bother anybody. And a side note is the fan in the bathroom actually kind of works, which is nice. You can see it sucking up this toilet paper here. One little weird thing about the room was the door didn't fully close, so when you're trying to get into your room, you kind of have to make sure it closes because it kind of drags across the carpet and can get stuck. There was a restaurant attached to the front of the Buoy 16. We were tempted to try it, but unfortunately, they weren't open during our stay. The bed was pretty firm, which I actually kind of enjoyed, but the pillows definitely left something to be desired. One felt super fluffy and like too large a bit, and then the other one felt more like a standard size pillow, but it was really noisy. It sounded almost like there was like some kind of plastic pillowcase on the inside. The pillows were just weird, but the bed felt, all right. It definitely wasn't the most comfortable bed. It wasn't terrible, but I can say that I appreciated the fact that when I would roll around, it wouldn't bother her, or she wouldn't even feel it or wake up or anything like that. So that's a plus. And I guess now's also a good time to mention that the sheets kind of sucked. They were like almost a little scratchy and like super thin. They were not great. And there were a list of rules upon check-in that you have to sign and agree to. I will leave them posted here, but 2 of them that were notable were no smoking in the rooms under a consequence of a $150 fee, and there's no walking barefoot through the motel. Something else notable about the room is that the AC unit is pretty loud, so if that is something that is like a deal breaker for you, maybe you should consider it. It didn't really bother me and my girlfriend when we were trying to go to sleep, but it is pretty loud. And speaking of loud, the walls are kind of paper thin. We were outside in the hallway and you could hear people talking pretty clearly. We could basically hear everything they were saying, which was it was a little... Oh, and by the way, if you're staying in room 8, the shower knob is backwards. So if you're looking for hot water, you gotta turn it to the cold side. And one small nitpick that my girl had was the fact that they made the bed with the tag of the comforter right in her face for the first night, so it started to feel like every time I found something that I liked about the hotel, I found something that I also didn't like about the hotel. So overall, the experience at the Buoy 16 Motel was very, okay. I feel like it was really good because of the location and who I was with, but the actual hotel itself was kind of mid. The first restaurant we stopped at was the Sawmill, and although I wanted to primarily eat at restaurants that were in town and not necessarily connected to the boardwalk, I decided that we should stop back at Sawmill just because we went here last summer and we really enjoyed the massive slices of pizza. The food we got this time at the Sawmill were hot honey bites and 2 massive slices of pizza, 1 buffalo chicken and 1 chicken bacon ranch. I enjoyed my slice of pizza, but I think the chicken was just some kind of freezer appetizer. It didn't taste homemade and there wasn't anything really special about it. And my girlfriend's slice of pizza actually upset her stomach because it was undercooked. It was kind of doughy and didn't hold its shape. It was honestly just not that great of an experience this time around at Sawmill. For 2 slices of pizza and the chicken and a lemonade, it was $35.99. So to be honest, I'm not sure if I'm going to go back to the Sawmill again, because as far as the food that we had this time around goes, this was definitely one of the worst. Then we went to Coors to get ice cream. This is our classic boardwalk ice cream spot. They don't have too many options. Usually we just get a soft serve here. The next morning, we stopped to get breakfast at a little cafe in La Valette, so it was just about a town over, maybe like 5 to 6 minutes away from the motel, and the cafe was called Lava Java. There were some nice flowers on the outside to match the yellow theme, and the inside also had a bunch of personality. It was a cool little cafe, and the food was pretty solid. The waitress was nice and came to check up on us while we were sitting in the outdoor seating area. And I'll tell you right now that this crumb cake, this coffee cake, whatever you want to call it, it's one of the best that I've ever had. Possibly the best. It was so crispy and crunchy on the top, but the cake was so soft and moist, it almost like melted in my mouth. And I'm going to keep it honest with you the way I always do on this channel, and I will tell you right now, the drinks were just okay. While the pork roll, egg, and cheese was pretty solid, and the crumb cake was delicious, the matcha latte and the iced caramel coffee were just kind of okay, not that great, honestly. I don't remember how much money we spent at Lava Java, but I don't think it was crazy. I want to say it was like $20-something. After breakfast, we went back to the motel to set ourselves up for a little time at the beach. We grabbed some sunblock and some snacks in the cooler, and we took our umbrella that my girlfriend's dad let us borrow, and we propped that up to have a nice little day sitting on the beach and chilling. And in maybe about an hour or so, the umbrella somehow blew off into the ocean, and I had to chase after it, and it got all wet and sandy. But either way, it was a really fun time, and yeah, we had a nice couple of hours just hanging out on the beach and soaking up the sun. After the beach, we went back to the room to drop our stuff off and get changed, and then we headed to the boardwalk for a little bit. We took some videos of the Jersey Shore house. Oh, yeah. The night before, someone from the store actually tried to sell us a tour, and we just didn't want to. We weren't really that interested, but we wanted to stop back and take some video of the outside the next day. After taking some video of the house, we went off to play mini golf, and this was actually really fun. This was a dope mini golf course. All of the archways and awnings and the waterfalls and the sculptures and statues. There's like a plane and a boat. It was a really cool mini golf place, and it was nice because there was some shade and there was some cool breeze there, and it was just a really fun way to kind of unwind and cool off after the beach.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, right.
Yo, what?
After we played all 36 holes of mini golf, we decided to hit a local spot that was highly rated called Montez Cafe. We got some al pastor tacos and some chorizo and potato empanadas. And to wash those down, we grabbed the mandarin Doritos. I was really looking forward to this place because it just seemed like a quality spot based on the pictures and reviews. And I gotta say, the al pastor tacos definitely held up to the hype. They might have been some of the best al pastor tacos I've ever had. The tortillas tasted just homemade and soft and just, they were fantastic. I really liked what I assumed were their homemade sauces, and the lady and gentleman that helped us were both very kind. The only complaint that I have about Montez Cafe is the fact that the empanadas were a little cold in the middle. Our bill at Montez Cafe for 2 empanadas, 3 tacos, and a soda was about $28 and change. After that, we went to a candy store and got some chocolate-covered pretzel caramel things. Now, I thought I was being smart because I asked her to split a 1/4 pound in half, so I thought it'd be an 1/8 pound of dark chocolate and an 1/8 pound of milk chocolate, so we could get a little bit of each. But she just weighed out this huge bag that came out to like $30, and there was like a language barrier, and we kind of just wanted the chocolate, so we sort of just ended up paying $30 for pretzels and chocolate, which is kind of insane.
I am never gonna financially recover from this.
And I'm not gonna say they weren't tasty. They definitely were, they were good. But $30 for pretzels with chocolate is just not what I wanted. That was not in the cards originally. After Planet Candy, we stopped at Lucky Leo's Sweet Shop and we got a strawberry bubble tea. And I'm going to tell you right now, this was the best bubble tea I have ever had. It was so good. And the strawberry boba balls or whatever on the bottom were just, they were bursting with flavor. They were so sweet and juicy. Like, it was incredible. And as I'm talking about it now, I just wish I had another one in front of me because they were so good. If you're ever at Lucky Leo's Sweet Shop, try out the strawberry bubble tea with strawberry balls. It's strawberry on strawberry. It's so good. Leave a comment in this video and tell me what you think. And I think the bubble tea was around $11, which $11 for bubble tea is expensive, but it was really good. After the bubble tea, we hung out on the boardwalk for a little longer, and then we stopped to grab dinner at Steaks Unlimited. I got a California cheesesteak with no tomato and an order of fried pickles for us to split, and I gotta say, it smelled great in the steak place. And they also had these cool pirate murals on the wall. The cheesesteak and fried pickles came out to just under $19, and it was at that point that we started to head back to the Buoy 16. On the way back to the motel, Jordan and I decided to stop and pick up some fresh squeezed lemonade, which was around $6. I wasn't sure if the cheesesteak and pickles were gonna be enough, so I decided to grab one more slice of pizza from Maruca's. They actually put the cheese on first and then the sauce, and the slice cost me around $6 and change. Now we were heading back to the hotel for real, and we made it back just before the storm kicked in. A thunderstorm rolled in and there was lightning and thunder like right outside of our hotel. We kicked our shoes off, turned some Jersey Shore on, and ate dinner. As far as dinner goes, the pizza looked and tasted pretty good, although it was cold by the time we started eating it. I feel like it should have stayed warmer for longer than it did, but either way, it was still pretty good. The pickles were pretty good as well. I'm actually not a big fan of fried pickles, but I thought they were pretty damn good. Being honest, the cheesesteak was just okay. I thought the bread shape was interesting, but it was a little bit heavy on the bread to steak ratio, and I just kind of wanted more flavor out of the meat. I don't know. It was just okay. When the rain finally slowed down, we went for a walk to 7-Eleven so we could grab some more water and fresh air. And I also picked up a little thing of milk to go with our chocolate for dessert. The clouds looked crazy, such dark and varied hues of blue. I thought it looked beautiful. We hung out in the room, ate some chocolates, watched some Jersey Shore, and then went to bed. And just like that, our stay at the Buoy 16 and our first anniversary mini vacation was over. So we packed our things and we headed out. And I'll be honest with you, this was a really, really awesome first anniversary. I loved it so much, and I think we had an absolutely incredible time. But now to review the hotel and the restaurants, I'm going to keep it real with you. The hotel was just kind of okay. The best part of it was the fact that it was so close to the beach. Okay, so I'm going to be ranking the food items now, and I gotta say the number one spot is going to that bubble tea, and I did not expect that to happen, but I really am just sitting here thinking of what's the most memorable item that I had, that I ate or drank there, and it really was that strawberry bubble tea from Lucky Leo's. It was fantastic. The second best has got to be the tacos from Montez Cafe. I'm going to say those tacos were the second best easily. I really enjoyed myself there, and just the whole aesthetic of the place was just really a vibe. I really enjoyed it. And next up, I'm going to go crumb cake. I think the crumb cake from Lava Java was the best crumb cake I've ever had, possibly. It was so moist on the cake part, and the texture difference with that crunchiness on the top, it was just really fantastic, and all the flavors were there. After that, it gets a lot harder. Those first three were all very memorable and very enjoyable, but I gotta be honest, after that, it falls off pretty hard. I think at number 4, I'm probably going to put the slice of Maruca's pizza. It was delicious, although I think that it should have been a little warmer when I ate it, and that would have made it better. I still did think it was good, and I thought the sauce had a nice sweetness to it. And ranked at number 5, I'm going to put the fried pickles. I didn't expect this. I honestly thought that there was going to be more competition, but the pickles were pretty good. They were crispy, they were complemented well by the ranch dipping sauce, and you know, the seasoning was okay. It wasn't the greatest thing I've ever tasted, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of disappointed that there weren't more memorable food options that we had on this trip. The top 3 were really good, but after that, I just think that the food items kind of fell off. But that's it for the review of the Buoy 16 Motel, as well as some of the restaurants in Seaside Heights. I'm excited to keep giving my honest thoughts about hotels and restaurants, so if you're interested to see more videos like this, more reviews of hotels and great places to eat, please consider clicking like and subscribe. Until next time, stay sweet.